Hello and a very warm welcome to PTV World News. With the news at this hour, I am Fiza Sajavu.
And I am Mohammed Abdullah. Let's see the top stories first.
Finance Minister Saqtar categorically dismisses rumors about failure in payment of $1 billion against Sukuk bonds, which will mature on 5th of next month. He says Pakistan will not default and will meet its upcoming $1 billion bond payments.
Foreign Minister Butto Zardari says PTI Chief Imran Khan is trying to create constitutional crisis as he is politicizing appointment process of Army Chief.
Information Minister Maryam Aurangzeb says Imran Khan's political gimmickry will come to an end on 26th of November. She said the end of PTI chief's so-called Hakiki Azadi March will not be different from his long march of 2014.
The federal government will focus on stabilizing the economy in the remainder of its term with a specific focus on strengthening exports. Planning Minister Iqbal says primary focus of the government is continuing to build political stability, a democratic society and effective growth of all industries in Pakistan.
Chief of the Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa pays farewell visit to various setups of Army Medical Corps. He appreciates the efforts of Army Medical Corps, which is providing quality health care and state-of-the-art rehabilitation services to members of the armed forces, their families and civilian patients.
Pakistan Air Force stall of National Aerospace Science and Technology Park wins the prize of being the most decorated stall of the IDS 2022, which portrays the hard work and commitment of the entire PAF team. NASTP kept gathering admiration from the visitors and foreign dignitaries throughout the 4 days show.
The United Nations calls for additional funding to meet the urgent needs of flood-affected people in Pakistan. UN Deputy Spokesperson says $816 million humanitarian appeal of world body has been funded, only 21%.
Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred one more Kashmiri youth in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The troops martyred the youth during a military operation in Rajouri district.
People in Kazakhstan go to polls in snap presidential election tomorrow with opinion polls suggested landslide victory for incumbent Jamal. PTV World is covering the presidential elections from Kazakhstan.
The FIFA World Cup kicks off tomorrow in Qatar with an opening ceremony and the inaugural match between host and Ecuador. The tournament will wrap up less than a month later with the final set to be played on December 18th. And now for the news in detail. Finance Minister Saqtar has categorically dismissed rumors about failure in the payment of $1 billion against Sukuk bonds, which will mature on 5th of next month. In a televised statement, the Finance Minister said Pakistan will not default and will meet its upcoming $1 billion bond payments. He said Pakistan never defaulted before and we will not even be close to getting default. Saqtar said that bond will be paid and even the upcoming payments in the next year. He said rumors are being spread for political purposes and these people should refrain from speculations and irresponsible statements. Talking about the fuel reserves in the country, he said Pakistan has enough reserves of petrol and diesel and speculations on the issue are baseless. Saqtar urged the people to think for Pakistan beyond their political affiliations and avoid speculations.
Foreign Minister Butto Zardari has said Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Chief Imran Khan is trying to create constitutional crisis as he is politicizing appointment process of the Army Chief. Talking to media persons in Islamabad, the Foreign Minister said timing of long march clashes with appointment process of Army Chief. The Foreign Minister said people of Pakistan suffered the most because of Imran Khan. He said country's economy and foreign policy badly affected during PTI tenure. The Foreign Minister said country was on the verge of default during PTI government and said that the coalition coalition parties have adopted constitutional process during no confidence motion. The foreign minister said Imran Khan has adopted unconstitutional means to stop no confidence motion. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said Imran Khan also tried to sabotage the deal with IMF. He said Chinese president visit to Pakistan was delayed in 2014 because of PTI sit-in.
Minister for Information and Broadcasting Murray Morungzeb has said Imran Khan's political gimmickry will come to an end on November 26. In a statement, Murray Morungzeb said that the end of Imran Khan's so-called Hakiki Azadi March will not be different from his Long March of 2014. She said instead of urging his workers to reach Rawalpindi on November 26, Imran Khan should better have announced the date for filing cases in the UAE and the UK over Toshakhana scandal. Murray Morungzeb said instead of arriving in Islamabad or Rawalpindi, Imran Khan should book his flight either to the UAE or the UK. The information minister said November 26 would too pass and Imran Khan would not have any support from any quarter. She regretted the fake march of Hakiki Azadi had claimed innocent lives, including journalists, and rendered children parentless. The information minister lashed out at Imran Khan for allegedly playing with the national interest and inflicting severe damage to foreign policy.
Minister for Planning and Development Ehsan Iqbal stressed that the primary focus of the government is continuing to build political stability, a democratic society and effective growth of all industries in Pakistan. Addressing overseas Pakistanis in Jeddah, he said the federal government will focus on stabilizing the economy in the remainder of its term with a specific focus on strengthening Pakistan's exports. Ehsan Iqbal said that the government support the right of overseas Pakistanis to vote, but it should be done without compromising the sanctity and security of the electoral process. He said various proposals are under consideration, including the proposal to give representation to overseas Pakistanis through specific seats in the parliament. He said that polarization in the country is poison for national unity and harmony, and we should not allow differences of opinion in politics to become a basis for enmity and hatred. The planning minister said that no country can be strong without the rule of law and constitution. Disrespect for the constitution leads to chaos.
Chief of the Army Staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, had paid a visit to various setups of Army Medical Corps. Surgeon General Pakistan Army Lieutenant General Nigar Johar accompanied the Army Chief during the visit. The Army Chief visited Combined Military Hospital Rawalpindi and was briefed by Major General Muhammad Mohsin Qureshi, Commandant CMH, regarding state-of-the-art newly upgraded healthcare facilities. He was briefed that medical care has been planned as per international best practices and patient care is the focus of hospital administration. The Army Chief was also shown newly established control room to impart training to doctors through live surgery process in academic center designed and established to facilitate medical students for better understanding of surgical procedures. He appreciated the efforts of Army Medical Corps, which is providing a quality health care and state-of-the-art rehabilitation services to members of the armed forces, their families and civilian patients. The Army Chief also laid the foundation stone of the new training block of Armed Forces Postgraduate Institute. Later, he visited newly constructed soldiers' guest rooms, newly established Army Health Center, and upgraded facilities of Armed Forces institutions of the cardiology. The Army Chief appreciated the doctors and healthcare professionals of AMC for their selfless devotion to duty and monumental work, lauding the immense improvements being incorporated in healthcare infrastructure. He said the quality healthcare for soldiers and their families is a cardinal feature of Army's welfare regime and critical for morale of troops. Earlier on arrival at CMH, the Army Chief was received by Commander Rawalpindi Corps, Lieutenant General Sahir Shamshad Mirza.
Pakistan Air Force stall of National Aerospace Science and Technology Park has won the prize of being the most decorated stall of the IDEAS 2022, which portrays the hard work and commitment of the entire PAF team. NASTP kept gathering admiration from the visitors and foreign dignitaries throughout the 4-day show of IDEAS 2022. The NASTP project, which as per the CAS vision and his own initiative has materialized in record time, is aimed at establishment of industry-academia linkage to provide an ecosystem of essential elements required to nurture design, research, development and innovation in aviation, space and cyber domains. Around 285 foreign defense delegations from 64 countries participated in IDEAS, which is reflective of the huge significance of the exhibition. The success of NASTP at IDEAS is the beginning of the wonders which the project is all set to perform in years to come. The mega event provided an opportunity to Pakistan Air Force to showcase indigenous projects in front of the audience from around the globe and will encourage foreign defense collaborations.
Now, the United Nations has called for additional funding to meet the urgent need of the flood-affected people in Pakistan. During his regular briefing in New York, UN Deputy Spokesperson Farhan Aziz Haq told reporters that the UN's $816 million humanitarian appeal has been funded only 21%. Giving an update on the flood situation in Pakistan, he said more than 3 months since the devastating floods began, the catastrophe is far from over. The spokesperson said the UN is calling for additional funding to maintain the life-saving response. He said access to clean water, sanitation and hygiene in the flood-hit areas remain a challenge, with the flooding and standing water having led to a rise in water and in vector-borne diseases. The UN spokesperson said millions of people face increased food insecurity as families are returning to their destroyed houses with ruined crops and dead livestock.
Benazir Income Support Program will soon launch a dynamic survey to register more deserving families affected recently by devastating floods. This was stated by Special Assistant on Poverty Alleviation and Social Safety Faisal Karim Kundi at a news conference in Islamabad today. He said an MOU in this regard has been signed with NADRA. The Special Assistant said at present the beneficiaries of BISP stand at 8.2 million, which are estimated to rise to around 9 million after the survey. Faisal Karim Kundi said the BISP has transparently extended financial assistance of 25,000 rupees to each flood-affected family. He said over 97% of the affected population has so far been provided with a financial assistance. The Special Assistant reaffirmed the government's strong commitment to fully rehabilitate the flood-affected people.
MQM Pakistan has said Imran Khan is inciting people of Pakistan against the country's institutions. Addressing a press conference at the party office in Bahadurabad, MQM leader Wasim Akhtar and Khwaja Izarul Hassan said Imran Khan is spoiling the name of country at the international level with his actions. MQM leaders said that Imran Khan's propaganda campaign is nothing but accusations against defense institutions and high officials. It was highlighted in the press conference that Imran Khan incited the public on America and regime change and then took a U-turn. MQM leaders said that Imran Khan during his government could not do anything but made false promises. MQM leadership advised the young generation of Pakistan to avoid this false propaganda of Imran Khan.
PSP leader Mustafa Kamal has said Imran Khan is spreading religious extremism in the name of state of Medina in Pakistan. Addressing a press conference in Karachi, Mustafa Kamal said Imran Khan is flashing his politics through the religious card and his extremist politics is destroying the young generation of Pakistan. PSP leader said Imran Khan resorted to political victimization and false cases against politicians during his regime. Mustafa Kamal said Imran Khan is a liar whose aim is nothing but to take U-turns and lies. He said Imran Khan's accusations against Pakistan's defense institutions are shameful.
Pakistan ambassador to the United States, Masood Khan, says the recent momentum in Pakistan-US relations has opened up vistas of opportunities in furthering Pak-US cooperation in critical areas including agriculture sector. He was addressing a webinar on Pak-US cooperation in agriculture sector hosted by VC of the University of Agriculture, Faisalabad, Dr. Iqrar Ahmed Khan. The ambassador said Pak-US Green Alliance can potentially serve to revolutionize agriculture sector of Pakistan with the help of US expertise and would also significantly help in cementing the goodwill created between the two countries by a green revolution in the past. Masood Khan said US government, universities, research institutes and the private sector are willing to join hands with Pakistan in addressing issues related to agriculture sector. He underscored the need for capitalizing this unique opportunity to create a win-win partnership between the two countries. The Pakistani envoy said the goal of revolutionizing agriculture sector needed innovative approach, a concrete strategy with delineated goals, sustained efforts and a robust cooperation among all stakeholders, including government departments, universities and the private sector. He said that farmers, community and civil society were important stakeholders while chalking out a future roadmap vis-a-vis addressing challenges in agriculture sector and promoting greater Pak-US cooperation. Masood Khan said the interest being shown by the US side and the existing frameworks, including trade and investment framework agreement between Pakistan and the United States, provide US and us with a solid foundation to enter into a robust partnership once again in the agriculture sector.
U.S. Consulate Karachi and local partners highlighted the U.S.-Pakistan economic relationship during Global Entrepreneurship in Karachi. During week-long celebrations to promote the advancement of Pakistani entrepreneurial ecosystem, U.S. Mission Pakistan sponsored the Silicon Valley trainer and a professional speaker, Oscar Garcia, spoke on the art of taking risks and building resilience at National Incubation Center, Karachi. He led a roundtable discussion with U.S. Consulate Karachi officials, entrepreneurs, startups and business journalists about the challenges and opportunities in Pakistan's entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Pakistan has called for steps to end the deepening humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan, saying the country's economy should be revived as a matter of priority. Addressing the United Nations Security Council Area Formula meeting, Pakistan's permanent representative to the UN, Munir Akram, urged the international community to fulfill the UN Secretary-General's appeal for over $4 billion in humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. The meeting was convened by Russia on preventing economic collapse and exploring prospects for recovery and development in Afghanistan.
Pakistan and the Dominican Republic have formally established diplomatic relations. A joint communique was signed in this regard by Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Munir Akram, and his Dominican Republic counterpart, Jose Blanco, in New York. Both sides expressed confidence that diplomatic relations between the two countries will open new avenues of bilateral cooperation in various fields and areas of mutual interest. Dominican Republic is the second largest and one of the most diverse countries in the Caribbean.
Ethiopia has expressed keen interest to develop connectivity and institutional linkages with Pakistan for expanding social and economic cooperation between the two countries. This was stated by Ethiopian Ambassador Jamal Abdullah while speaking at the Federation of Pakistan's Chambers of Commerce and Industry in Islamabad. The ambassador said the Ethiopia has surplus tea and coffee which can be exported to Pakistan at affordable rates. He said that Ethiopian Airlines will start its operations from Karachi at the beginning of next year. Pakistani traders also expressed keen interest in buying tea and coffee from Ethiopia at affordable rates.
The Annual Association of Pakistani Physicians of Northern Europe, APEC Health Convention 2022 was held at Gala Hall, New York. Multidisciplinary CME meetings continued throughout the whole day, followed by a plenary session attended by representatives of the Royal Colleges, GMC, BMA, and doctors from 8 different nationalities. During the event, the accomplishment of doctors in the United Kingdom communities were highlighted and recognized. The doctors community expressed their desire to continue supporting junior doctors and their training initiatives, as well as supporting doctors and their families in medical, legal, and immigration issues. The event continued into the evening, where participants were treated to 4-course dinner with a mesmerizing Pakistani music concert. On this entertaining occasion, great tributes were paid to Queen Elizabeth II for her valuable services to the British people. The convention was attended by more than 1,000 Pakistani doctors and their families.
My name is Irfan Akhtar. I am a consultant surgeon and I'm also the president of Association of Pakistani Physicians of Northern Europe. Today we were having our 3rd national annual convention of APEC in Gala Hall, New York. This was attended by over 350 people to do their CME events. There was a plenary session which was jam-packed where all the relevant NHS bodies were there and people had an interactive session taking up their questions, their queries directly with the GMC about NHS, about their education. And we also had a keynote speaker who spoke about his passionate work in radiology and how he has spread radiology all over the world.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shabi Ahmed. I'm a consultant urologist and Secretary General of Association of Pakistani Physicians of Northern Europe, APNE, the largest Pakistani doctors organization in United Kingdom. We represent more than 15,000 Pakistani doctors in UK. And today we have had our 3rd annual health convention in which more than 1,000 doctors have participated. We have had CME sessions during the day. We had a health management plenary session in the evening attended by representatives of the BMA, the Royal Colleges, the GMC.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Dr. Aisha Sharif. I'm an executive member of APNI organization, the organization of British Pakistani physicians. Today we are gathered here for this grand gala function and a musical night. Along with that, since morning we had many educational events covering many specialities. It was a chance for all of us doctors to get together, network, meet our families, and we also had a grand bazaar which not only had things to sell but some charity stalls as well, so we can remember our brothers and sisters back home who have been affected by flood relief.
So I'm Tabinda Dugal and I am the chairperson of Chemca UK, which is part of the APNI organization, which is obviously a collection of all the physicians in the Northern Europe. So we come here together and we talk about issues that are important to the medical community, and we try and resolve them, and we invite the local politicians as well as people who are in the power position so that they can help us resolve or suggest about these issues. And it's a very good forum of us coming together and sorting all these things out.
My name is Dr. Chand Nagpal. I'm the immediate past chair of the British Medical Association. I'm also a member of the NHS Race and Health Observatory and a GP in North London. I've been really impressed at today's APNE conference. It's been a day of amazing education, but what's really important is also plenty of time to discuss how the NHS should change and be a better place for doctors to work in. I today spoke on a subject of levelling the field, because doctors from Pakistani and other South Asian backgrounds are not often treated fairly. They have a greater disadvantage in progressing in their careers. And I spoke about the need for the NHS to be a proper environment of equality of opportunity.
Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred one more Kashmiri youth in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The troops martyred the youth during a military operation in Nowshera area of Rajouri district. Meanwhile, Indian police have launched house raids at multiple locations in 3 different districts. The Indian State Police, accompanied by the personnel of paramilitary forces, carried out searches on at least 10 locations in Srinagar, Islamabad and Kulgam districts. In Srinagar, the police team searched the residences of journalist Wasim Raja, Hakim Rashid Makbul and Mukhtar Ahmad Baba, as well as advocate Abu Adil Pandit and civilians Sajjad Ahmad Sheikh, Nazir Ahmad Shah and Sajjad Ahmad Krailiari.
People in Kazakhstan go to polls and snap presidential elections tomorrow. The secretary of the Central Election Commission of the Republican of Kazakhstan briefing a delegation of foreign regarding the arrangement of presidential elections. Our correspondent Fahad Ahmed Missan reports from Kazakhstan. Let's take a look.
The Secretary of the Central Election Commission of Kazakhstan, Imran Mukhtar, gave a detailed briefing to the delegation of foreign journalists. In his briefing, the Secretary told the media that in order to hold free and fair elections and in order to maintain transparency, at least 641 observers that include 10 international organizations from 35 foreign states have been issued accreditation card, and for over 12 million voters, at least 10,000 polling stations have been set up. The Election Commission has made special arrangements for the voters with disabilities that numbers at least 604,000, and they will be provided at least 35,000 wheelchairs that also include the visually impaired, blind or deaf voters as well.
The delegation of foreign journalists reached the headquarters of Kazakh NLRI to hold meeting with the female candidate for presidential elections, Sultanat Tursenkabova, in Astana, Kazakhstan. She is going to make history by participating in the elections, as it is the first time in Kazakh's history that 2 women are contesting the presidential election. She outlined her vision for the future of Kazakhstan. She said she wants Kazakhstan to be free of domestic violence and place of equal opportunities for all in reply to a question. She said regardless she becomes the president, she will continue to work with framework of her program to defend women, children and their rights and interests as well.
The delegation of foreign journalists visited the headquarters of three important political parties, Amanat, Azhol and National Political Party. We have with us our correspondent Fahad Ahmed Missan from Astana.
The delegation of foreign journalists have arrived at the headquarters of three important, significant political parties. Of course, Amanat is a major political party, but this party is allied and supported by National Party and the Ahol. Plus, additionally, 27 Republican organizations have united with these parties to extend support to the current incumbent president, Tokayev.
PTV World correspondent Fahad Ahmed Missan, who is in Astana to cover the Kazakhstan presidential elections, visited the Mega Expo Center in Astana. More in this report.
World-class, magnificent, remarkable, stunning and elegant Expo Center in Astana, Kazakhstan, to present the truly colorful picture and the holistic panoramic view of Kazakhstan's beauty, of its civilization, history and culture has been presented in one expo. Expo like these should be followed by the countries like Pakistan if they want to really present the picture to the world. This is the only way you can direct the attention of the investors toward your country, and you can present the beautiful picture of your country, your cultural diversity, and the blend that we are having in Pakistan by the use of technology.
Two American B-1B bombers have been redeployed to the Korean peninsula to conduct joint trials with South Korea in response to North Korea's intercontinental ballistic missile launch on the previous day. Video released by the South Korean military showed South Korean F-35A fighters and US F-16 jets escorting the B-1B bombers as they conducted joint drills. The military said the drill was held on Saturday and it was designed to improve their ability to quickly deploy deterrence assets from the United States.
A video of North Korea's latest intercontinental ballistic missile ICBM launch was aired on the country's state television on Saturday. The North tested the Hwasong-17 ICBM on Friday, a day after warning of fiercer military responses to Washington beefing up its regional security presence, including the nuclear assets. The KRT reports also showed him and Kim oversaw the launch with his wife and daughter, but the state television stopped short of publishing the video of the Kims' family. North Korea's state media says the missile flew nearly 1,000 kilometers for about 69 minutes and reached a maximum altitude of 6,041 kilometers. Japanese Defense Minister Yasukazu Hamada said that the weapon could travel as far as 15,000 kilometers, enough to reach the continental United States.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has said Japan will strengthen its defense capabilities amid rising tensions in regional security. Speaking to reporters in Bangkok, Kishida said Japan would establish a new national security strategy and other measures by the end of this year. He said we will firmly strengthen the deterrence and coping capabilities of the Japan-US alliance and will promote efforts to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific region in cooperation with related countries and regional partners. Kishida's comments came as North Korean leader Kim Jong-un pledged to counter U.S. nuclear threats with nuclear weapons during an inspection of the country's new intercontinental ballistic missile test.
Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation leaders participated in the last retreat of the regional summit, pledging to boost trade and do more to tackle other economic challenges. Leaders of the 21-member bloc in their declaration at the end of a two-day summit in Bangkok also said they recognize that more intensive efforts were needed to address such challenges as rising inflation, food security, climate change and natural disasters. The APEC gathering is the third summit in the region in the past. Southeast Asian summit that included China, Japan and the US was held in Cambodia, while the group of 20 nations met on the Indonesian island of Bali. The earlier meetings were dominated by the war in Ukraine as well as the tensions over Taiwan and the Korean peninsula. The North Korea's recent missile launch also brought condemnation and calls for calm.
World leaders greeted Thai King Maha Vajiralongkorn, Queen Satida and Princess Saravanivadi Narayanan at the Royal Palace during the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Bangkok. Significant figures from countries including China, the US, Saudi Arabia, Japan, France and Canada met with the royal family, while the summit hopes to make progress on the discussion of the free trade area of the Asia-Pacific. About 350 protesters had gathered and clashed with the police about 10 kilometers from the venue of the summit. Activists said they were protesting against the APEC summit and Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha.
Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes has been sentenced to 11 years and 3 months in prison for defrauding investors in her now-defunct blood testing startup that was once valued at $9 billion. U.S. District Judge Edward Davila in San Jose, California, sentenced Holmes on 3 counts of investor fraud and 1 count of conspiracy. During the hearing, Holmes cried as she said she was devastated by her failures. Before handing down the sentence, the judge called the case troubling on so many levels. Theranos Inc. promised to revolutionize how patients receive diagnosis. Forbes dubbed Holmes the world's youngest female self-made billionaire in 2014.
Recent news surrounding Twitter layoffs and changes has social media users and experts weighing in on the possibility of a Twitter downfall. Experts say that Twitter going down is not outside the realm of possibility. On 16th of November, Elon Musk emailed Twitter employees asking them to work longer hours and be extremely hardcore in an increasingly competitive world, which led to dozens of employees taking the exit option.
Renowned stage actor and comedian Tariq Teddy passed away in Lahore today at the age of 46. Our correspondent Ali Zamran Danish reports.
Pakistan today lost one of its most renowned stage actor and comedian. 46-year-old Tariq Teddy passed away early morning today at Lahore's Pakistan Kidney and Liver Institute after suffering serious pulmonary and liver-related illness for more than a month. Teddy just days ago was shifted to a ventilator after his health further deteriorated. His passing has sparked an outpouring of grief from politicians, community of stage performers and others. Born in Faisalabad on 12th August 1976, Tariq Teddy started his career as a comedian in stage shows in the early 90s. Some of his most popular stage shows are Sabse Bada Rupaiya, Mama Pakistani, Ji Karda and Dosti. Apart from stage shows, he also starred in the 2004 film Salakhein. Teddy, who had a huge following, brought smiles on the faces of millions, performed for almost 3 decades and was considered as one of the best comedians in Pakistan, especially in Punjab. He will be dearly missed. Reporting for PTV World, this is Ali Danish.
Minister for Information and Broadcasting Mariam Aurangzeb has expressed deep grief and sorrow over the death of famous comedian Tariq Teddy. In a statement, she said Tariq Teddy played brilliant roles in stage plays and Punjabi films and brought smiles to people's face with his humor and artistry. She prayed for his eternal peace and patience for his bereaved family.
With around 16 million people in Pakistan who are not having access to any form of sanitation, the World Holiday is being observed today to raise awareness and inspire action to tackle the global sanitation crisis and revisit the commitment that the governments have made to its people of providing safe sanitation. More in this report. Books are considered as the source of authentic knowledge, but with the rising influence of digital media, the book reading culture in our society is diminishing. Let's watch this report by our Lahore correspondent, Mohammed Junaid.
A home without books is like a body without soul. But unfortunately, book reading culture in our society is on the decline. Same is the case with Lahore, which was once known as the city of literature and art. People used to be proud of their collection of books and the size of their own library. But now, this culture is rapidly fading away. According to a recent survey, 75% of Pakistanis are not reading any book at all. Digital revolution and high prices of books are among various reasons for this decline.
I think Google is one of the best reasons that students are not using libraries. They are not going to libraries for their books, because now everything is in their mobile phones. They open it, they just try to read abstracts, they just try to read reviews, and that's it. They are done. So I think this is one reason, but there is another reason that books are very expensive in Pakistan now.
However, bookstores at Lahore's Mall Road still attract readers every Sunday. They offer hundreds of precious books on cheap prices. Now what's required is their financial assistance and encouragement so the book reading culture can be truly revived. Reporting for PTV World, this is Muhammad Junaid.
Annual International Cultural Gala was held at the Pakistan Embassy College in Beijing, aimed to project Pakistan's rich culture and heritage. Around 27 countries set up their national stalls to exhibit their cultural handicrafts. This year's event is dedicated to the celebrations of 75 years of independence of Pakistan. As part of the proceeds collected during the event would also be donated to the flood victims of Pakistan. Ambassadors and senior diplomats, officials, media representatives and students participated in this cultural gala. China, Iran, Egypt, Sudan, Bulgaria, Cuba, Bangladesh, Nepal, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan and several other countries showcased their cultural handicrafts, products and traditional cuisine. Pakistan's ambassador to China, Moin ul-Haq, visited the event and lauded the efforts of the school management and the students for the holding of Gala.
On to some weather updates now, where cloudy and cold weather is expected in most parts and upper parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, rain, thunderstorm with snow over the hills is likely at places in Gilgit-Baltistan, Kashmir, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and the Pothohar region during the forecast period. According to the Met Office, a westerly wave is affecting western and upper parts of the country and likely to persist in northern parts till tomorrow. And that's about it from my side, Ehsan Haqqani. It's back to the main desk.
Well, that's all from our side and the entire news team of PTV World. For further details and live streaming, do log on to our website, world.ptv.com.pk. You can find PTV World page on Facebook, and you can follow us on Twitter with that Twitter handle at WorldPTV. This is Mohammed Abdullah Dar with Fiza Sajawal and Ehsan Haqqani signing off.